What is up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. Today, we are joined by Toby again, of course, for our third Saw installment. We have done the 1 through 3, we've done 4 through 6, and now we are going to be talking about Jigsaw, Spiral, and X, of course, to round off the trilogy of Saw movies, or Saw videos that we've done, or episodes that we've done. Finally bringing this illustrious, I don't know what other word to describe this fucking franchise. Illustrious is probably a bad word to describe this franchise.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
Um,
probably not the best word you could have chosen, but fuck it.
Monumental. We'll go with that one because it is big. It's a big franchise. There's 10 fucking movies, and each of these movies made waves one way or another. Whether you liked them, you disliked them, whether they were good or bad, whether they were some of the greatest horror movies you've ever seen or some of the worst. This franchise has it all. So we're going to be talking about it today. And the final three we're going to be talking about. And I say the final three because I'm pretty sure 11 got canceled, did it not?
It did. I was going to bring that up later.
Yeah, so we might discuss that a little bit at the end. But we're basically going to talk about the three I just mentioned, as well as doing a ranking of the whole franchise. Just a quick rundown of what I think my least favorite through favorite is, and then Toby's and Derek's and so forth. If you would like to know our reasoning behind some of the earlier ones, then just go back and watch our episodes. We don't want to spend too much time talking about each individual one that we've already made videos about, so make sure you check those out. They are pretty fun episodes regardless, so check them out anyway. But if you want more specific reasoning as to why I might think this movie is better than that movie, and vice versa, and Toby's opinion is entirely different than mine, then go back and watch those other videos because that'll give you a little bit more clarity as to why those are. However,
to be honest, if you're watching the third one, you should probably watch the first two anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. But, who knows? Maybe this thumbnail
honestly
stuck out to people before the other ones did.
If you're watching one from the Crypt video, you should just watch all of them.
That's also a fact. Every single one of Derek's movie reviews as well. By the way, Derek, I meant to tell you this like a month ago or however long ago you did this, but the new intros for the for your movie reviews, the intro and outros are fucking baller, dude. I love those. I meant to say something to you about it because I watched one of them that had the new intro and outro, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fresh, dude. That's fresh. I like that. But
yeah, my favorite's the outro though.
Yeah, the outro is pretty sick. I haven't watched. Obviously, I haven't been able to watch all of your movie reviews, mainly for the fact that like a lot of them I haven't seen, so I don't want obviously spoilers and shit. But as I pick off, from the list of movies that you've reviewed, I'll probably go back and watch the corresponding review for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I seen one of them that I didn't really have any intention of watching just for the hell of it because I had some time and stuff. And I was like, oh, damn, Derek, he fucking cooked. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff. Anyway.
That was fun.
By the way, I know we could talk about this other time, but if you ever want or need any other assets from the Crypt, I have like a file of shit like in our From the Crypt file on my computer.
Yeah.
Just let me know. But
oh yeah.
Anyway.
Now when it'll come time to update all that stuff, we'll see what's happening.
All right, buddy.
It's got to keep it fresh.
Fresh. I try to do like my Rustbeard stuff like once every 6 months to a year. I try not to do it too frequently because we did that shit with Cosmic Pizza, and most of that was just because it was fun, and I just liked looking at shit like that. It pumped my brain full of dopamine, so I just did it. But I know that obviously that can be daunting to viewers and stuff like that. But dude, we were just fucking having a blast on Cosmic Pizza, so I don't really think about it too much there. But my Rustbeard one, I know I've been trying to keep it pretty much the same for a while before I switch anything up. But yeah, same with From the Crypt. I think we had our original logo for, I don't know, first year.
It was about
probably.
a year. Yeah.
So, anywhoozin', Toby, what you been up to? I know I play Rivals with you every day, but the viewers want to know. You are a celebrity amongst the Cosmic or the from the Crypt channel.
Tell him you cried last night.
Yeah, I can't talk about everything that I've been doing, but I do have an exclusive for you. I've been signed on for a Marvel project.
Oh, word?
I'm playing Mary Jane Watson.
Knew it.
Confirmed. You heard it here first.
You're my fan cast. Love that.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna give Tom Holland all those sweet smooches.
Just wait till you hear my fan cast for Peter Parker. Spoiler alert, it's Derek.
Whoa.
Hey, cutie.
Face it, Tiger. Hit the jackpot.
All right. This podcast is turning into a whole different kind of podcast. We need to move on.
Cue the porno music. Oh, wait, what?
Okay. Nah, for real, though, I haven't really been doing anything. I've just kind of been living my life. Playing Marvel Rivals, getting mad at Marvel Rivals, and then playing Minecraft to soothe my nerves because I am far too mentally unstable now, and I can't handle competitive video games anymore.
Same.
It'd be like that.
Too old for that shit.
I yearn for the mines.
Yeah, we all yearn for their minds. Sometimes you just gotta dig, man. Digging solves all of our problems. Dude, one of these days, like, in the next couple weeks, we're gonna have, like, an entire civilization built on this server, on this Minecraft server. We're gonna have a whole fucking cities.
I fucking hope so.
It's gonna be.
It's a really it's just a really sick world. I don't know how I got so lucky with completely randomly generated world, but it's just dope as fuck. Like I went on a solo adventure the other day because I needed a single block of fucking sand or cactus. I needed cactus, and I went on a perilous journey looking for a fucking desert, and I walked for like 4 hours, and I saw so many things.
And we just so happen
and it's just
around every biome but a desert.
Yeah, it's just such a damn cool fucking world. So like every new area that I entered, I was like, dude, I could build some crazy shit here. Just give it like a year. Give it a year, and we're gonna have like empires.
Dude, we should start building like statues. We should start building statues of us. Monumental statues, just towering.
We need to just start inviting more people, just because it's a realm, so you can just get on. Like I don't have to be on for the server to be on. Like anybody can access this at any time, so you could just go on there and fucking fuck off in one direction and build something.
Dude, if we end up doing that, we could end up like logging in one day and just taking a trek out in that direction. We find a whole different civilization that our buddies have built.
It'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not a Minecraft pod. This is not a Minecraft podcast. That's a word that I can say.
Yes, words.
Look, man, I'm tired.
Yeah, I felt that. All right, Derek, what's up, man? How have you been? What have you been listening to? What you been playing? All that kind of stuff.
Been sick again somehow, which is awesome.
I feel like you're sick every time I talk to you.
Or broken to some degree.
Okay, like the broken, yeah, that one's fair. I have been more sick in the last 6 months than I swear to God I've been sick for the last fucking 10 years. It makes no sense. Yeah. Been bopping new Sleep Token. Caramel. Fucking, it's Bob.
I didn't care for it.
Oh, dude, I liked it.
Their last song, Emergence, I liked Emergence a lot. But I don't particularly care for Caramel. I don't know what it is. It's just a little too poppy for me.
Yeah, I get that. It's really wide. A wide fucking spectrum, and it literally hits fucking everything in that spectrum. So I think that's why I really dig it.
Yeah, but with Sleep Token in particular, just because
don't say something that's gonna get us killed.
No. Just because you made that comment though, like this ties into that. That specifically is the same thing that I felt with Now I'm blanking on the name, but their first big single. What the hell was it called?
The Summoning?
The Summoning, yeah, there you go. The Summoning also had, I mean, you name it in it. I mean, it had everything from some like just disgusting riffs and like heavy shit, all the way to some like almost R&B type shit. You know, like everything all in there. It had some really poppy shit in it. It had some really heavy shit in it, but it like had a weird breakdown at the end. Like it had everything, and it melted me. I love it. I love that song. However, in the same exact album, there is other songs. There are other songs that have everything in it, and I fucking hated them. I just don't like them or whatever for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. But I haven't heard Caramel yet.
Say anything to get us killed.
Look, man, if you guys have watched anything on this fucking podcast about music at all, and you've heard me talk about Sleep Token, you already got a red dot on my head. All right, I don't care. Shoot. Do it. Put me out of my misery. That's what I thought. Anyway.
Just make sure you hit him and not me and Derek, because we like Sleep Token, I promise.
I do like Sleep Token. All 5 songs that I like are great.
We like Sleep Token, except for him. 2/3 of us do.
Hey.
Aim that hate in the right direction.
I'm going to listen to the new album. I'm going to give it an honest listen. I swear, I'll give it an honest listen, and I hope that I like it, because, like I said, Sleep Token, especially the year that Eden came out, I was like, dude, these singles are fucking phenomenal. I'm pumped for this album. Like, I am like very, very pumped for this album. And for whatever reason, the hype just went straight over my head after I heard the rest of it. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm not begging for their downfall is all I'm saying. It's not like Falling in Reverse, where like I used to like a lot of their earlier stuff, and now Ronnie's just become this whole different entity than he used to be. And he's always been controversial. Okay, he's always been in that realm of controversy, but it's always stayed in the little pocket dimension of the genre of music that they played. Now it's everywhere, and you can't go anywhere without hearing about fucking Ronnie doing something. And I'm just like, dude, please.
It's honestly pathetic at this point. Like, I saw one literally this morning where some big music news outlet was reporting that Ronnie Radke goes after Chris Motionless, and they put a quote where he said, stop copying me and Marilyn Manson. And I'm just like, brother, can you just fucking stop?
Chris has
like,
more,
can you just...
Dude, Chris has more talent in his pinky than Ronnie does his whole body, okay?
I'm just going to go ahead and say, how dare he put himself in the same category as Manson, just because Manson's been doing this a long fucking time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How dare he?
You can see from an objective standpoint, I'm obviously a big Motionless in White fan, much bigger Motionless in White fan than I am a Marilyn Manson fan.
Same.
But you can clearly see the influence there. Even if you just look at a picture of them, you're like, oh yeah, they got like the same kind of thing going on that Manson was doing in like the 90s. But like, fucking just let him do his thing. You know, are you going to go after every band that wears masks or face paint and be like, oh, you're a Kiss or Slipknot ripoff? Shut up.
Yeah, go away.
Like that whole thing just read as he was he just woke up and was like, I don't have any beef with anybody. Gotta change that.
Yep, he just rolled the dice and decided what beef he was gonna start that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, my whole point is I just don't see Sleep Token the same way as as a lot of people do. And like I said, still gonna listen to the album. I'm still gonna give it an honest listen. Speaking of honest listens, I just listened to Anti-Fragile the other day, and
what the fuck is Anti-Fragile?
I thought we weren't gonna talk about this fucking band anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it was in my playlist long before you had listened or told me not to listen to it and shit. But so it was already in my 2025 playlist. So I was like, you know what? I got some time. I'm gonna go ahead and just listen to it on my way to do something. I can't even remember, but yeah, we're gonna have some words about that on our top 5 albums of 2025 for sure. But we got some words for it for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'm kind of glad I didn't listen to it.
gonna try to be unbiased as possible, but I do even have some positives to say about it. I'll be honest with you. I have a few positives. However, as a whole, we gotta talk about that fucking album, dude. Anyway, moving on. There has been a few like imminence, for example, that their new album Bops. Stick to your guns.
It's not,
dude.
It's not technically a new album though. That's the thing. It's like a redo of their last album.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. But
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
imminence.
That new song though,
Oh.
God-fearing man,
Yeah.
that's a new song, but everything else on the album is like a re-recording.
Oh, well, that's a bummer because it definitely probably would have gotten into my top 5 this year, but it'll still make an
Yeah.
honorable mention for sure. However, Stick to Your Guns, their new album, banger, dude. The whole thing is a fucking banger from start to finish. If you guys don't listen to Stick to Your Guns or haven't, this is definitely a place to start, dude. Go check it out. It's so fucking good. A Day to Remember's new album, I actually have enjoyed quite a bit. I haven't.
Feedback.
I enjoyed it, dude.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, that
I
song
had
gets
no idea.
stuck in my fucking head constantly.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way. I know I'm sound like I'll just like I hear it like I even fucked myself over right there because it's gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the goddamn day just for fucking saying that.
Dude, it's a fun album, but like, I mean, we can make a whole episode about A Day to Remember just because they're A Day to Remember, dude. They're just a fun band, but yeah, good stuff. Still coming out, even though there's been some poo-poo coming out as well. I think that's it. I've been doing the same thing as Toby as far as games go, so yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I've
There's a
been
window into.
I've been playing the quarry, I guess, with Meg. That's been fun, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, yeah, what's we'll go ahead and get us started, Derek, on what we're doing.
All right. We were
Saw.
talking about the final 3 films in the Saw franchise. And first up, released October 27th of 2017, we have Jigsaw, directed by the, oh my god, Spyrie brothers. This was made on a budget of $10 million, and it grossed $104.2 million. This film stars Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, Matt Passmore as Logan Nelson, and Laura Vandervoort as Anna, or Anna, however you want to say it. This one was a break. Like, we had 7 Saw films in 7 years, and this one took, what, like a 7-year break in between?
I was gonna say, this was a big deal when it came out. I remember I saw this movie opening night with my buddy Nathan, and we were fucking pumped. That was like the most pumped I'd been for a horror movie in a long time.
Damn.
Because it took so long. It was a 7-year gap.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it didn't. I don't think I was particularly disappointed in it.
I was not either. It wasn't as good as some of the earlier entries, but it was still intriguing enough because the way everything is shot and edited, they really are playing with your head to think that like they've pulled some fucking like time travel stuff that are like save John Kramer and he isn't dead. And yeah. Jacob, go ahead. I'm sure you've got some interesting thoughts on this one.
Okay, so as the neighborhood
Hater?
late to horror boy, I had a lot of I don't know. It was an okay movie. Like overall, it was okay. I mean, some of the traps were cool and shit, and obviously I enjoy seeing John Kramer in any of the Saw movies. He's easily the highlight of any of these movies, bar none. So that's cool, and obviously we're going to be talking about another one in this particular trilogy that does not feature John Kramer, and we'll get to that. But it shows, and I think the overall consensus for me on this one was by the time I got to it, I think I was just already burnt out with Saw movies. That I went into it thinking, okay, this is gonna be another Saw movie, and by the end of it, I was like, okay, now I'm like fucking confused for no fucking reason whatsoever. Why did this even get made? I mean, they could have just left this out entirely, and we would have been fine. However, overall, it was not a bad movie, and we definitely will be talking about bad movies. We've already talked about bad movies, and this is not one of them. I don't think this one was terrible, but I do think it was irrelevant confusion, and I think that they probably just could have skipped this. However, I wouldn't have taken this one out of the franchise before others, though. I guess is a okay way to leave that, but
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that by the time you got to this movie you were already burnt out, because I think the reason that I like it in particular is because like it's the exact opposite effect, because I think most people were burnt out on Saw movies when 3D hit, so they took a long ass break, and then they came back and everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's a new Saw movie. We haven't seen one of these in almost a decade."
I was literally gonna say the same thing, that if you're shotgunning these back to back to back to back to back like that, I could definitely see the fatigue. But because like we were with it, the entire time, that 7-year break was long enough to kind of reinvigorate our interest in the franchise, which is exactly what it did.
yeah.
One thing I don't know why I'd never thought of this, but why didn't I'm very thankful that Jigsaw didn't have a twin brother named Ron Kramer as Rigsaw. That just popped in my head that they could have done that. Like I was literally just watching this last night, and I literally was fucking dying because that popped in my head. I was like, I'm his twin, Ron Kramer. It's like, oh my god, the fuck. Random shit that goes on in my head. But one thing I definitely want to talk about is Eleanor Bonneville.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
That's what you
Does
want
anybody
to
else? Yeah. Does anybody have any thoughts so I don't sound like a total jackass here? Because she is easily the hottest chick in the entire Saw franchise, bar none.
Are we talking about
Hannah?
the
red-haired corner chick?
Yeah, the coroner. Yeah, she's pretty fine.
Okay.
Oh god.
I agree with you. 100%.
Damn.
However, this is where I'm gonna get my throat slit. Her acting was fucking awful, dude. I was not convinced by her character at all, in the slightest. Like, at least in this movie, she was probably my least favorite character acting wise. The actress herself, yeah, absolutely, drop dead gorgeous, but like, I don't know, dude. She pulled me straight out of it. I think that was another reason why this one was just like falling flat for me. But
I didn't think she was that terrible. Just mainly because she was playing a fangirl basically, and excitement makes you say stupid things.
I'm trying to remember who else. Brittany Allen. She was the blonde chick.
That gets the acid.
Yeah, she was. I mean, as far as acting goes, I mean, I enjoyed her quite a bit. Yeah, dude, I don't know. This movie was alright, but there's so many other Saw movies that I enjoyed more. And also, that's another thing that you brought up was like the fact that you guys were watching them alongside of them releasing. For anybody that doesn't know already, which you should if you've watched any of our videos, I didn't, but I also had the same feeling with like Friday the 13th and Halloween and like all these other horror franchises that have way too many fucking movies, and I'll stand by that. I'll take that to my grave. Halloween did not need as many movies as it got. Friday the 13th sure as fuck didn't either. And I don't even in some cases think that Nightmare on Elm Street did. And I love like a decent amount of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. But even still, even some of the ones I did like, I was just like, why did they make this?
I'm going to be honest.
What was the point?
Most of these franchises, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Saw. I kind of want to say Nightmare on Elm Street too. I know that's going to get me some fucking flack. Could have just been a single movie. I would have been fine with it.
No, I agree with that. Even though I love the first three Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I agree. It could have just been the first one, and I still would have been cool with it.
I guess with the exception of Friday the 13th, all of those franchises that I listed, at least in my opinion, the first movie is the best one.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't seen all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, to be fair, but
I could see an argument being made
like,
for the first the favorite of Nightmare on Elm Street, but
it's literally like a 50-50 between one and Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
like
I'm just going off of what Drew Barrymore told me in Scream.
Well, how'd that work out for her?
Hey,
the first one's good, but the rest sucked.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Scream was also another example of a franchise that should have stopped. Like, they should not have made as many movies as they did. Honestly, the first one is easily the best one.
Yeah, that's another
by
one.
By a landslide. But I think that's just where I'm at with the Saw movies.
If, like, with the Scream movies, if they would have stopped at 3, that would have been fine. Scream could have definitely gotten away with the one and done.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Some of the other ones, not so much. Like Halloween, for instance, it ends on a cliffhanger because where's Michael Myers? He's gone.
Yeah, but think about if that had just been the movie, like there had not been any sequels after that. That's a damn creepy fucking cliffhanger.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that's a good way to end a horror movie. You leave it on a fucking cliffhanger and you're like, oh, he's not dead. He could still be out there.
Imagine, if you will, if they made Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. They did not make any of the other ones until 2018. Like, the build-up for that would have been insane. And I think it would have been a franchise that would have been like a cult classic thing, and that's where it would have stayed for the longest time, right? And then they come out with 2018, and they're like, what? Another Halloween movie? What happened with Michael Myers in Halloween 2? That's crazy, dude. And then they released 2018. I think it would have had a twice as big impact as it. I mean, it already had a pretty big impact. I know the movie was extremely popular, but
made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, imagine if it didn't have all those other movies that people still had rattling around in their brains, even though they weren't part of the overall narrative that 2018 told. Imagine if they just didn't exist at all, right? All of that buildup and all that pressure before it finally just went boom. I probably would have even liked it more, but...
So, you said, keeping 1 and 2 around and then nothing after that until 2018. That would still create a big issue because in 2, it's revealed that Michael and Laurie are brother and sister, and obviously they're not in the new trilogy. So, it'd be, if they did 1...
Didn't 2018
and then wait...
start after 2? Isn't that the timeline? Or am I tripping?
Starts after 1.
Is it
really?
Yeah,
retcons everything after 1.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was after 2. Okay. I'm tripping. Then.
No, it's
okay.
1.
Well, scrap that. Take 2 out then. And if they just made
if
one,
it's just 1
same
and then
premise,
wait that long, yeah,
that would have blown the fucking roof off of shit, But, anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this as far as Saw goes, but Saw, I think if they would have done 1 and 2, waited a long time before they did 3. Maybe they did 1 and then X and then 2 and then. There would have been a little bit better of a premise for me anyway, but
well, no, and you're not wrong on that. The only reason that they kept pumping them out the way that they were is because they were you could make these movies for next to nothing and then fucking get huge fucking returns in the end. So that's why they were pumping one out year after year after year, and then once it started to really grind to a halt, I think around Saw 6 is when it really, it didn't make $100 million. Then they're like, okay, we need to bring this one home. And, yeah, because we're not making as much money.
Yeah.
So, if Saw 6 would have made, let's say, $150 million, then it would have probably went on for another 4 or 5 fucking years before they hit the brakes. Depending if they were successful or not.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, the traps in Jigsaw, cool. Some
Yep.
of them very simple, like the shotgun at the end, the
Yeah.
key to freedom.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was cool.
And then
and
the big motorcycle fucking one, that was fucking cool.
the meat grinder or whatever the fuck they called it, or blender, the
I-
blender.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing this movie in theaters and leaving and talking about it on the way home with my buddy, and we both shared the consensus that the traps were not as good. We were kind of disappointed in the traps coming back after a 7-year gap.
And the best way to explain that is because these were technically the first traps. So, I mean, yeah, they didn't pack as big of a punch, but they were still solid. And in the, cardinal sin of making a prequel long into a goddamn established franchise, you definitely have to take that in consideration. But you're not wrong.
Touching up on the fact that you reminded me just now that this was like technically supposed to be set before everything else. This is like the first shit. That's another thing that we were talking about on the way home from this movie. Nathan picked up immediately as soon as it was revealed that this was like happening in the past, that there's a flat screen fucking plasma screen TV in that first room when they wake up with the chains around their neck. And this is supposed to be in 2004?
Yeah.
Or 2003 or whatever. That's fucking funny.
Also, that as well, going back to that, the wall of saws that they're chained to with the bucket heads or whatever, that's the right movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That room looked so much more pristine and immaculate and like futuristic than the one that we've seen with the more decapitating similar trap from a previous movie. I don't remember which one that's in, but I think it's 4.
Oh, with the
yeah,
I know which one you're talking about.
Where
Yeah,
they're chained to
I
the
think
wall
it's 5.
still, but
is it 5?
yeah, it's 4 or 5, I think.
It's a game, Tweeka. I can't remember what the fuck. I think it's 5.
They're attached to the necks or whatever, and they're being pulled in.
It's not saws behind them. It's just blades.
Oh, blades
They
behind
have to
them.
run.
That's right,
They have to run forward and like grab the key or whatever.
Oh,
basically, it's the same trap, right? But that one looked significantly more dingy and fucked up, and it's supposed to be set after the one that we got in this movie. That one looks like it was built like by professionals, like professional people that are into that kind of line of work, And, yeah, definitely not.
How do you get into that line of work?
I don't know, but they need to sign me. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, like I said, overall, I think it was an okay movie. It wasn't a terrible movie by any means, but it was definitely refreshing after 3D, for sure, and it was definitely refreshing after I think 6 was the other one that I had like super big problems with.
I think this movie was better than the last 2 in the franchise, at least.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say it was better than 6.
Was it 6?
5.
5.
Yes.
5 was the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
6 was the insurance company and was awesome.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're right.
100%. Like, to be completely fair, everything. A fucking hot steaming pile of shit on the stove is better than Final Chapter. So, I mean, that's not the highest bar to have to clear.
That might be some foreshadowing for our ranking later at the end of this video.
Oops.
Not for me.
But
controversial.
Okay, now
talk about
final thoughts on Jigsaw. If anybody has any, solid.
It was
a good movie. Not the best.
It was nice coming back to my favorite horror franchise after a 7-year break and not being utterly disappointed.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
I also remember. Maybe it's just because I was dumb as fuck, but I didn't see the twist coming when I saw this movie in theaters. I did not. It caught me so off guard when that dude stood back up after the lasers hit him.
Oh yeah.
I was fully not expecting it to be him.
This boy
You're
had the
expecting
little.
Ron Kramer.
Yeah.
Like this movie was giving me the runaround the whole time. I don't know how, because like watching it now, it's pretty predictable. But
Yeah.
like when I saw this in theaters, maybe I was just riding the high of seeing a Saw movie in theaters, but like I didn't see it coming. It caught me off guard, and I really liked that twist ending.
I didn't see it coming watching like recently either. I mean, honestly, I didn't. So
the only instance where I was like, hold the fucking phone, because up most of the movie, I was same boat. I was like, what the is it Ron Kramer? What is going on? Like, but when they pulled the bullet out of Munson and he clearly switched it, I was like, it's him. It's fucking him.
Yeah,
that's when I
fair.
knew.
That's fair. Yeah, he had.
But up until then, they did a very good job.
He had them lasers in there that you play with kittens with, the little laser pointer things. That's what he had in his mask or his helmet thing.
Yeah, hopefully he had his eye closed, or else he fucking hurt his fucking vision.
No shit. Oh man.
Okay.
All right. Next.
All right. Well, let's move away from Ron Kramer and Jigsaw and talk about Spiral, which was released May 14th, 2021. This was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed Saw 2, 3, and 4. This had a budget of $20 million and a box office of $40.6 million. Should also be noted, this was like in the pandemic time, so part of the reason why it didn't make as much money. This movie had Chris Rock as Zeke Banks, Max Minghella as William Chank, and hopefully I pronounced that right, and Samuel L. Jackson as Marcus Banks. All right, Jacob, go ahead and start this one off.
You want me to
before you start, I'm going to correct you. It's Officer Shank. It's pronounced Shank.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, carry on.
Boy.
I get them wrong 9 times out of 10. Like it's just a fatal flaw.
That's what you got me here for.
Yeah. I don't know where to start with this one because this movie was poo-poo. This movie was dog shit, vile. I hated it. It was dumb. It was irrelevant. Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson's worst movie that I've ever seen. Bar none. I literally could not think of a single other movie that either one of these actors have been in that I liked less than this movie.
Captain Marvel.
No, I will watch Captain Marvel again for Samuel L. Jackson
full of shit.
before I watch this movie.
We're going to throw hands. This is not an opinion that you get to just have.
And Captain Marvel is in my bottom 3 MCU movies. Like, trust me, I do not like the movie. But I would still watch it and skip ahead every single time Captain Marvel's in the movie, only to watch the Samuel L. Jackson bits. And I would still have a better time than when I watched this movie. It was fucking dumb. I could not stand it. Everybody was off their fucking game when it came to acting. Every one of these guys was so fucking bad. It was laughable. The traps were fucking, sparse. I'm pretty sure this one had very few traps in it compared to a lot of the other movies, which is kind of the fucking point of a goddamn Saw movie. It literally did not have Jigsaw in it at all. So that was already a big L. The wax trap? You're not going to kill somebody with hot wax, dude. That's not how that, unless you bury them in it. That's not
that
how
was
that
the
works.
point. She was suffocating in it.
No, she wasn't. She
had the thing over. She had a
sheet
over her face.
She was essentially being waterboarded with boiling hot wax.
No, I don't think that's how that works. I highly doubt that's how that works. Anyway, the killer reveal at the end.
Literally,
fucking
I watched the movie
shit.
3 nights ago. Yes, that is what happens. They put the fucking cheesecloth over her face.
I know that's how that happened. I'm saying I don't think that's how that works IRL. I don't think you can kill somebody by that because it's
I would say
cool.
just keep talking because I'm sure Toby's gonna test it out on you soon.
It'll cool instantly. I don't think.
And harden.
Anyway. So that you can't breathe.
Over a cloth. She could have just moved it. She could have fucking wiggled it off of her head. It would have broke. It's wax.
But in the process, it was getting on her skin too, so it would have hardened to her skin and the cloth, and thus creating an unbreathable fuckingness.
I don't think hot wax is hot enough, even at that temperature, to not cool instantly. It's not going to make that kind of mark. There's no way. There's no way.
Well, yeah, I mean, the peeling of the face and stuff like that, yeah, but the
There's
suffocation thing is real.
Anyway, aside from that, the reveal that the partner was the fucking... Oh, I should put our spoiler thing up, even though these movies have been out for long enough. Spoilers ahead.
Whoops.
Sorry, guys. There it is, up on screen. Super fucking predictable. Easily the most predictable in the entire franchise by a landslide. There was no twist at the end, I don't think. Because... I mean, unless I'm the minority here, I guessed the fucking plot from a mile away. Okay, that's another thing. How the fuck did the killer get all of this knowledge and training and money to build any of these traps, especially without a fucking protege like Jigsaw had for every fucking movie before it? Like,
I'm gonna stop you for a second, because the point that you just brought up is super interesting, and I can't answer it. But there is a channel on YouTube, I don't know their name, so I can't plug them, but there is a literal video series that this guy goes through every single one of the Saw movies and, like, talks about how you would be able to afford all of this. Specifically, like, that is a very specific critique that you just had, and there's a very specific niche that answers that.
No. Okay, I've had that critique since the beginning. Okay, I've always had that critique, even about Jigsaw himself. Like, I've always questioned how the fuck he's able to get away with any of this. But I mean, by the time we get to the third, fourth, fifth movie or whatever, I've already suspended my disbelief long enough to just let Jigsaw do his thing. Like, I don't care, because I like Jigsaw enough as a character to be able to take that little bit of knowledge and just throw it out the window. Like, I don't give a fuck at that point, because one, it's fun. Okay, it's fun to watch Jigsaw do his thing. It's fun to watch I'm blanking on his name. Who's the actor?
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell, yeah. It's just fun to watch Tobin Bell be Jigsaw. Okay, he doesn't even have to make the traps for him to be an interesting person to watch, okay? But, like, he's just that shrouded in mystery, you know? He's just that kind of guy that can get away with this kind of stuff, you know? And I can put myself in a place where that's the only explanation I need, okay? I don't care if he got the money from... toting drugs in his fucking teens. I don't care if he got the money from some, like, from a small loan of $10 billion that he got from his dad. I don't care, you know? But this little fucking, like, newbie rookie cop that has some weird history with Chris Rock's character that I forgot the name of, Zeke, like, what? Get the fuck out of here. I don't even like him as much. His character wasn't likable in the slightest. I didn't give a shit that he turned out to be the killer. Like, no. It
Honestly,
would have been cooler to find
Chris
out that
Rock's
Zeke's dad being the killer would have been cooler to me than this guy. Like, fuck that, dude. But
I will give you that much. Even Chris Rock's character was unlikable as fuck in this movie.
I hated him.
And I honestly hated every character in this movie.
Everyone. They were just not likable in the slightest.
Okay, hold on. I've got it. Toby, you're a defender of this movie, but you hate every character in this movie?
Yeah.
Explain.
I just like the fucking franchise. All right, I like seeing Samuel L. Jackson fucking suspended up by puppet wires.
Can you defend this one, but not 3D?
Because 3D's dog shit.
It is dog
3D's
shit.
dog shit, but at least it had Dr. Gordon, that twit, going with the franchise all 7 years, and then that payoff, because it was a long-running theory since 2, that Dr. Gordon was involved, that payoff was better than anything Spiral put forward.
Yes. And also,
no, it fucking wasn't.
They're both heaping piles of dog shit, but at the very least, the traps in 3D were funny. Like, they were at least entertaining to fucking watch. Like, fucking
The fucking pulling the thing out of the chick's neck.
Yeah, they were at least fun to watch, dude. Like, even though the movie was an absolute fucking dumpster fire and should not have been made by any means, I'm not defending it. It was awful. But at the very end of the day, if I had to pick one to watch over the other, it would be 3D, because at the very least I can watch it and laugh, because the fucking traps were fun. They were stupid and convoluted. They were just out there. If I took this out of the franchise and just made it its own little Saw parody or whatever, I got a decent movie on my hands, you know? Like, at the very least, it's entertaining. This was fucking a slog to get through. I didn't like any of the characters. The traps were fucking stupid and totally out of line from the perspective of a lore perspective or whatever. The guy could not have done this. Broman could not have done it. I don't even know his name. I don't give a fuck about his name, because he was awful. And then there's also no Jigsaw in it. I mean, do I have to say anything else? Get the fuck out.
I think that's the reason I like it, actually. It's an interesting concept to think that, like, copycat serial killers exist in our world. Like, yes, there's copycat serial killers out there.
Cool, so why see Jigsaw's reaction to these copycat killers, though? Like, even if the movie wasn't about Jigsaw, it would have still been cool to see, like, him noticing these people that are, like, popping up all over the place and, like, going through the reprimanding and shit he would have gotten, even though it wasn't even him this time. He's like, dude, I know I did that shit in the past. That ain't me. It ain't me. I promise. You know, like, that would have been fucking hilarious to watch, to be honest with you. But, like, trying to get them to actually pin this on Jigsaw instead of these copycat killers would have been fucking cool to see. That would have been an awesome way to still introduce these copycats and these, like, weird cult people following all this shit, but have Jigsaw not actually be a part of any of it. Also, his reasoning behind doing these killings, trying to take down the entire police force on top of this, instead of just, like, teaching these individuals a lesson about them doing really shitty things. Respect. I get that. But I think Jigsaw could have built up to that. I think that John Kramer could have built up to do that. But this dude, he's barely in his fucking 20s, dude. And he has this a gap of history with Zeke and his father getting killed unjustly or something like that. And he's able to afford all of this. He's able to have the knowledge to build all these traps and get all this dirt on all these people. He just joins the police force for the sake of doing all of this. Yeah, right. And then somehow gets away with all of it? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, do we know that he gets away with all of it? I guess he does.
He does.
He kind of pins the whole thing on
Zeke.
What's his fuck? Yeah. I didn't watch this movie recently, to be fair. I also, like, you guys just watched it. I didn't rewatch it. But
no, I watched it like 2 months ago. And it's like been buzzing around in my head ever since, because it's like it's irritating me way more than it should, obviously, but like
I think this was the first Saw movie that feels like a big fucking Hollywood got its claws in it. You know what I mean?
Dude, the production value is phenomenal. Like, it looks great.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, that's like the worst part of the movie for me.
Yeah, that's not as
it doesn't feel like a Saw movie, but grimy. Like that, I justify that in my head by saying this isn't
a Saw movie.
It's not in continuity with the rest of them. The rest of them all happened like boom, 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 boom in the timeline. This one's like way the fuck down the line in present day, and it's not Jigsaw. It's like it's this copycat killer that's doing like Jigsaw-esque things, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's a good movie by any means. It's definitely pretty low on my fucking list, but I don't think it's worse than Final Chapter by any fucking stretch of the imagination.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
It's
all right.
It's rough.
I'm gonna talk now.
Yeah, Derek, go ahead. Hit us up.
Okay. Yeah. I was very... Jacob, you made some very, very good, compelling arguments there that
you did.
I can't Like, I wasn't intending on arguing, because in my mind, this is literally dog shit versus cat shit. Which one is fucking worse? It's a race for the bottom, if you will. This movie is more disappointing simply because Darren Lynn Bousman directed some of the best Saw movies. Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
2, 3, and 4.
100%. Yeah.
And it did not translate well in this movie. Chris Rock does not have the ability. Like, I could not pull him away from just, stand-up Chris Rock and funny Chris Rock. I could not take him serious.
Marty from Madagascar.
Yeah, I could not, like, for instance, Jim Carrey in Number 23. Perfect example. Like, I believe Jim Carrey's batshit crazy and a serious actor in that movie.
Yeah.
I did not believe it for a second in this fucking movie with Chris Rock.
But that's not even a nod at Chris Rock, because I feel like he has the capability to be a serious actor if he wants to be. I think
it just wasn't this movie.
I know, and I think Eddie Murphy could do it. I think that I think even Will Ferrell might even be able to do it, and he's like the goofiest of the goofy, But I feel like they all have capabilities because they're all very strong actors. Chris Rock is no exception. I love Chris Rock.
But Chris Rock should not have, like...
But in this movie, it just did not land. It just didn't land, dude.
And they essentially wasted Samuel L. Jackson in my mind.
Yeah, by a mile. I love Samuel L. Jackson, dude.
Now, when it comes to the traps, I will say the tongue one at the beginning, I was like, okay, that one fucking really sucks. But the rest of it, I was just like, not that great.
I think the tongue one was probably the only believable one in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because even the fingers in the fucking wires and shit, like pulling his fingers off and shit. How the fuck did he do that? How did he do that?
Chinese finger traps?
Okay, how did he afford that? On top of the fucking the tripwire and the water, all the setup that was required. He had no proteges. He did that by himself? Fuck off. Dude. No way.
And one thing neither one of you brought up, and Toby, you said it's been a while since you'd seen this one. The new Jigsaw voice is fucking atrocious in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because before you get the, I want to play a game. But this one, Officer so-and-so, you were an asshole. I'm going to rip your fingers off.
It sounds like Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my god. Well, that would have been more fucking convincing than the voice that they put in this goddamn movie.
Another thing I didn't bring up, Billy the Doll, replaced by a pig in a fucking pig suit. I mean, cop suit. Whatever, dude. Not even close to as cool. Or as intimidating.
A couple other notes that I have here. Chris Rock describing the whole entire plot of Forrest Gump. I did not need that in this movie when they're setting up for that heist or whatever, where he went undercover.
Yeah.
Undercover without even clearing it with his captain or anything like that, which, I'm sorry, does not fucking happen.
No.
Then there's one line where they say, John Kramer didn't target cops. Do I need to remind you of Eric fucking Matthews? And it's even more blasphemous because the director of Saw 2 directed this heap of shit. What in the fuck went on with this creative process of this fucking movie?
I don't know.
And then, man, I'm going to cut my fucking leg off. Dr. Gordon style. Oh, wait, never mind. There's a bobby pin.
You're going to bobby pin the fucking handcuffs off, dude?
Yeah,
right.
Dude, no.
Okay.
I am not going to lie. Man, this has felt therapeutic almost. Because I don't... This movie fucking sucks. And it should have never been made. It's blasphemy.
And look, I'm not even saying that this movie couldn't have been made, because the premise, yes, I agree, is interesting, but they just took way too much of Saw out of this movie. As much as they tried to shoehorn everything about Saw into this movie, they missed every fucking mark, dude. Every mark.
Now, I will say the idea of, like, Jigsaw targeting a police department filled
with scummy people.
Yeah, would be awesome.
Yeah.
Not fucking, I want to play a game.
Yeah.
I just thought of a comparison. Like, just now. This movie feels like the Spider-Man-less Spider-Man villain movie universe.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it
Yeah.
always feels like
Like,
super empty.
It's like
not right.
it's like a Saw movie without Saw.
It's like the Madam Web or Morbius of
Yeah. No Spider-Man in sight.
Damn, am I cooking? I just cooked with that.
Did you just compare
Yeah.
John Kramer to Spider-Man? I love that.
Oh, yeah, I might have.
Okay.
Directly.
All right, so do we need to have final words on this piece of shit?
No.
No, I think you convinced me. This movie's kind of dog shit.
It's kind of dog water. Like, that's it.
Okay. All right.
Couldn't have
Let's
said it
go
better
ahead.
myself.
Yeah, Jacob, that was very convincing. Good job.
I can't
'Cause,
believe
yeah.
that I just convinced you guys for once about something horror related. That's great.
Oh
I'll
no,
take this as a
like
win.
this one was already very low, but what came out of my mouth set off a light bulb that where I was like, the Dr. Gordon reveal was bigger payoff than anything in this movie, and I was like, oh yeah.
Dude, even
Shit.
take
I
that
still don't agree with that.
even if you
Oh,
take
dude.
even if you take that out, okay? Take the first trap in 3D. Okay? Easily one of the most standout awful fucking traps in the entire franchise because it's in this white pristine city block with like all these people watching and shit. It's fucking dumb. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. But just take that trap for example, where these two dudes are arguing back and forth over this dumb bitch that's up in the fucking trap or whatever, and she's still dumb bitching both of them to try to save herself. That's relatable. Like I mean, not the killing part, but like we can at least like put ourselves as guys, I guess, that straight white men put ourselves in this position to like fight with a friend of ours about this dumb girl that's like playing both of us and come out to some solid agreement that she's kind of trash, okay? Like that's funny, all right? That is a funny, relatable situation that's obviously extended past the realm of fantasy because obviously we're getting into like this weird trap killing in the middle of a city street and shit. But that alone convinces me that it's just at least a goofy enough movie to watch by itself, you know? Would I ever watch it again? No, absolutely not. But if you put me in a Saw trap and said, you have to watch Saw 3D or Spiral. Dude, I'm picking Saw 3D.
That's the
in a heartbeat.
That's the punishment. If you lose the game, you have to you either have to watch all of Saw 3D or you're forced to watch Spiral.
Yeah, you have.
No,
you're sitting in that Clockwork Orange trap that's got your shit fucking like taped open and shit like that, and you have to watch it or something.
Or like if you lose the game, then like he doesn't just kill you outright, but just Spiral fucking replays until you die, like days later.
Dude, I'm picking 3D. Not even a competition.
I'm gonna try and hold my breath and just suffocate myself at that point. Fuck that.
Nah,
All right.
see, here's my only argument for why Spiral is a better movie than 3D. Spiral's not connected to the rest of the continuity. It's its own standalone movie.
Yeah, but you can
Like, yeah,
still
it's
watch
in
1 through 6, and
It is
just
in the Saw
forget
franchise.
that 7 even happened. You know, like you can still forget that it even happened because it's not like smack dab in the middle of the thing.
But you can't.
You can.
If they make another movie, granted the next movie got canceled, which bummer, sucks. Anyway, if they were to make another movie that carries on that continuity, you can't ignore it because 7 is a movie that happened. And it's in that continuity. It's part of that story that started at 1 and went all the way up through the movies. Spiral's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
So all of
You
the
can just throw it
bad
away.
shit, all of the bad shit that happened in Spiral, yeah, you can throw it away. You don't have to watch it. All of the bad shit that happened in Saw 3D affects the rest of the story.
Unless if
Not
they
really,
take a Halloween
because-
2018 approach and retcon after a certain point,
Well,
then
but
we got a whole new timeline.
when did Jigsaw take place?
Jigsaw was a prequel
Right. Before 7,
It was
right?
a pre-
before any of them. It's like
Exactly.
before at the very beginning of the fucking movie,
And
or at the
when-
very beginning of the franchise.
And when did X take place?
in between, what is it,
One
2
and
and
two.
3? 1 and 2?
Yeah,
So
1 and
yes,
2, yeah.
you could scrap, you could scrap 7 and Spiral, and still have everything
But that's
happen that
not.
needs to happen.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Yeah, you can make prequels, as many prequels as you want, but that's still part of that sacred timeline. Like,
No, you can stop watching
Saw
after 6.
3D.
That's what I'm saying. You
I'm
can't
not
like
talking about watching it. I'm talking
Yeah.
about it exists. That is the conclusion to Hoffman's story.
yeah,
Like,
but it's not the same as if you were to watch like the newer Spider-Man movies, right? Or even the Sam Raimi trilogy. You're not going to be able to watch 1 and 3. Like you can't watch 1 and 3 because you're missing a fuckload of story that happens to build up to 3. So you still have to watch 2, right?
right.
So if Saw 3D was like Saw 4 or whatever, you'd have to watch 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 5, 6, you know? Whereas it's at the end,
Yes.
so you can just cut it off at the tail. And you don't even have to watch it. So none of it gets
Okay, no,
concluded when it's gone.
we're at an impasse right here because no, Toby, I get what you're saying. It like no matter how much you hate it, it is a part of that main timeline. Whereas Spiral is off in its own little fucking world, and you can easily forget about it. And I mean,
That's all I'm
not-
saying. Yes.
Yeah, that's not like not skipping the movies or anything like that. It's just in that timeline, and we can't undo that unless if we retcon and create a new timeline.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Is if you want the full John Kramer story of Saw, you have to watch that. You don't have to watch Spiral.
Yeah, I guess. But regardless,
Okay.
Those
Let's
are-
move on.
Spiral's fucking dog water. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, we have got Saw X. This was released September 29th, 2023. This was directed by Kevin Grutert, who directed, wasn't it 6 and 7, I believe, as well?
I have no idea.
I'll have to look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure it was 6 and 7. The budget was $13 million, and this movie made $125.3 million in theaters. As Tobin Bell returning as John Kramer, thank God. Shawnee Smith as Amanda Young, and we're not landing this plane. Sinove Makodi Lund as Cecilia Peterson. Okay.
Can we all agree that this one was a fucking banger?
Saw
Yes.
X is one of the best movies in the franchise.
Yes.
One of the
Fucking
best.
thank God.
By a
I
mile.
do not have the mental capacity to argue with you anymore.
No,
I
no, no.
needed
No.
you to agree with me on this.
This one I had a genuine good time watching. Like I legitimately like I had the burnout, you know, like I talked about before. So, yes, when I started this movie I was like, "Oh my fucking god, here we go." And when I started watching it on Plex or something like that, and the Plex app or whatever was fucking up on me.
Yep.
But I was so invested by that like 15 minutes worth that I had watched that I was like, oh no, I need to watch the rest of this. So I'm pretty sure I went and rented it or something. Like I was like, no, I have to watch this. This shit is fucking like got me intrigued by the like it was like 10 or 15 minute mark. I was like, okay, no, this is happening. So my burnout just like fluttered out the window. I was like, oh my god, hallelujah, here we are, dude.
Yeah.
And I had a genuine
No.
good time with it, like for sure.
This so it paints Jigsaw in a different light. It makes him a sympathetic villain, not just I'm just gonna fucking kill people, or I'm gonna put people in games. No, because you see him go through the treatment. He's like, yeah, getting hopeful, and then
It's
finds
a
out
legit
it's
revenge story, like for
Yeah.
sure. And it felt so good, dude. It felt so good
Yes.
to watch this.
Yeah, Saw X. I'll just go ahead and say I've rewatched this one probably 3 or 4 times. First time, each time it gets better for me, which is definitely saying something. Because the first time I was like, yeah, that was good. But then by rewatch number 4, I'm like, God, this one is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Traps are brutal. They don't need to be extravagant or over the top, so they like kind of hone in that on that fucking justness, like the chick fucking cutting her goddamn leg off, like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The traps in this movie were some of the fucking worst in the entire franchise, and I don't mean like they're bad traps. I mean like if you put me in any fucking trap in the Saw, like previously, for the most part, I'd be like, all right, I could probably deal with this.
Man had to fucking do brain surgery on himself.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then the girl was fucking getting hit with the radiation fucking gun and stuff
Dangling
like
from
that.
the fucking ceiling too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the one that didn't even exist, the one that he had intrusive thoughts about for that one guy that was like stealing from the hospital and then he ended up choosing not to, and he was like, good choice. Even that one where he was just like picturing it in his head. Like you got to see
the fucking eyeball trap. Yeah.
You got to see like a glimpse of his psyche, like inside of his head, because like, yeah, you could probably imagine he imagines these things, sure, because how the fuck else does he come up with these traps? But you got to actually see it because this trap didn't even get made. He was just like in his head, like, oh, dude, I'm gonna suck your fucking eyeballs out, dude. Put that back. Put that back. And he puts it back, and he's like, all right, fine. I won't suck your eyeballs out. But like it was just a cool fucking movie, and I had a very good time with it. I had a very good time.
Yeah, it's weird to say that I don't have like near as much to say about this one, but I mean it really was just good, start to finish.
It hit the marks. You don't really have to say a lot about it. Like it hit the
Yeah.
marks it was supposed to hit, and like, Tobin did a fucking phenomenal job as usual, and it was just weird seeing him like. It was weird, but also satisfying seeing him in a more personal like story. You know, a more personal story that was like just following him along the path. You know, instead of just like flashbacks or seeing him for a second in the trap before he just like walked mysteriously off camera, so the people could experience the trap and so forth. Like this one followed him from start to finish, and I just thought that was just such a cool concept to see.
They changed like the focus because like for instance Saw 2, you know, John Kramer's just like he's the main villain
and he's always there, but he's not.
Yeah, but your focus is on Eric Matthews, whereas this one, no, you're following John.
Yeah,
and so they kind of changed the game up a little bit with this one, and it just knocked it out of the fucking park.
This was
which makes it
you could tell going back to the traps real quick. You could tell that the traps in this movie were significantly more personal.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like for example, in 1 and 2, and I mean, I guess all of the ones that Jigsaw had a hand in creating were like you had a pretty fair chance, you know, like. Like my mind's going to the dude in 2 at the beginning of 2 with the death mask where he had to cut his eye out. Like, yeah, that sucks, but all you got to do is cut your eye out and pull a key out and take the fucking mask off. That's doable. It's perfectly doable if you have the fucking will to do it, you know.
Yeah.
But like these people in this movie did him wrong.
Not only him,
like
but they did the innocent people that were trying to actually help him wrong.
Yeah, like I forget why the fuck that guy with the death mask was even in the trap to begin with.
He was Matthew's informant.
Okay, yeah, like he's fairly small crime, right? You know, whatever. These guys are actual scumbags in this movie, and they directly did John Kramer wrong, and you can feel that shit. Like, he put that dude in a death mask and was like, cut the key out of your eye, take the mask off, you can go home. In this movie, he's like, all right, I want you to cut your entire fucking leg off, jam a fucking thing into your leg to extract the bone marrow from your leg and fill up a beaker. Like...
Yeah.
It's like the survival chances in like the other movies were like 50-50 because it's like you could cut your eye or just die. This, it's like, no, it's like a 75-25, like you're gonna fucking die because, like, perform brain surgery on yourself. Fuck it, cut your leg off and then just fuck yourself with a marrow fucking thing. Yeah, no.
That's what I've always liked
just
about.
To be clear, we're talking about Jigsaw's specific traps, because there are other people that make traps that are you're not able to get out of them. Not those guys.
Yeah, that's
specifically Jigsaw's, by the way. Like he always makes it a fair shot. But this movie, dude, I mean, he was done dirty, and he also is like indirectly fighting for the people that those guys were affecting outside of him too. Like because they did a lot of other people dirty with the same kind of cancer that he has, or the same kind of ailments that he has, or similar at least. And they were just like scrapping them for fucking money, dude. Giving them hope where there was none for the sake of getting rich, and that's just, I mean, in its own right, really fucked up. And yeah, dude, yeah, I agree. He felt every single ounce of what he was feeling in this.
Yeah. That's what I've always liked about the traps in Saw. You can tell who makes them based on how survivable they are. But these ones, like, they're survivable, but you can tell he was pissed off when he fucking designed these.
You can survive it, but you're going to be significantly more maimed than you would be in most of the other traps.
Yes. 110%.
We should probably talk about what's her face coming back, Shawnee Smith, Amanda. We should probably talk about Amanda coming back too, because she was a big role. She didn't really come back. This was more so what was happening behind the scenes between 1 and 2. But she was here. She came back as far as the role goes, and that was interesting to see. But
I don't think I liked her as much in this movie as I did the other ones.
I didn't either.
I don't know. Like, maybe it's just because there's been such a big gap since she played this role initially. It just didn't feel like the same character.
Yeah. It almost felt as though her character... I mean, I enjoyed her character regardless, and I enjoyed her before as well. But I didn't enjoy her character as much as I did before, because it felt like she was playing the role. Like you could tell she was just trying to play the role. And before, her character felt like the character. Like, I mean, you could see Amanda being Amanda, but in this, I seen Shawnee Smith being Amanda. You know, like
yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, that's where I was at with her character. It felt very forced, but again, a very minor discrepancy, all things considered, because I loved the fuck out of this movie. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, unless if we got any final words other than this movie was fucking rad.
I agree. Fucking rad.
Okay. All right. I guess now is the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and unveil those Saw rankings, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm doing this off the cuff, by the way. Full disclosure, I didn't actually make a ranking, so I'm just gonna go with it.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna go with my heart.
Do you want to do all of us do our 10, and then all of us do our 9, or do you want me to do my whole list? You do your whole list, and so forth.
Let's just do 10s, 9s, 8s, on down.
What's your 10, Derek?
Spiral.
Also Spiral.
Saw 3D.
You son of a bitch.
Okay.
I'm sticking with it.
That's fair.
Number 9.
I respect.
Saw 3D.
Saw 3D.
Saw 5.
Get the fuck
Nice.
out of here, dude.
Nice.
Whatever, dude.
Okay. Number 8. Saw 5.
Saw 5.
Spiral.
Come on, man.
Okay, so the thing that we can agree on so far is that the 3 worst movies in the franchise are somewhere in our bottom 3. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Number 7. Saw 3.
Jigsaw.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Saw 3.
Nice. Okay.
No, Jigsaw.
Number 6. Jigsaw.
Saw 4.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of which one was Saw 4.
Rig. Matthews getting his head crushed.
Oh, fuck you. That was a decent movie. I guess we're at like the halfway point, so we're kind of in like the...
We're in the mids.
Yeah, that's like, is that top 5? Or wait, which one are we on?
We're on 6.
Oh. Um, fuck, man. I'm gonna go with... I've lost track of where I'm at.
You had Saw 3D,
Okay.
Spiral, Saw 5, and then you had Saw 3. So all that's left is 4.
I'm gonna go with 4 too, actually. Yeah, I'll go with 4. Fuck it.
Okay. All right. Number 5. Sorry, Toby. Saw.
Wow.
Oof. Yikes.
Yep. I stand by it.
Saw
I should have been
3.
writing these down.
Saw 3 is my number 5. And the reason I have my Saw 3 higher than these two gentlemen is because I actually had only watched Saw 3 for the longest time. And it's because I had a DVD of it, and, like, I don't know, it was just a movie that my girlfriend and I at the time had put in and on the background. So it's the only one that I'd seen, so I had grown kind of fond of it over the years of seeing it. And I just never got around to watching the other ones. But yeah, watching it in line with the rest of these, obviously, I still got to place it not very high, but also not super low either for the same reason. But
Did I already say 3?
yeah,
Go get a
put
pen
3.
and fucking paper.
All right, hold on.
I will.
Okay, so I
You need to download the app Letterboxd.
had Saw 3D, I had
Spiral.
Saw 5,
Or, yeah, Saw 5, then
and
Spiral.
then I had Spiral, and then I had Saw 4?
No,
Yeah.
Saw 3
Or-
you had next.
Okay.
And then Saw 4.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to put Jigsaw there instead. We're going to put Jigsaw as my number 6.
Okay.
And then we'll put Saw 4 as my 5.
Okay. So, number 4, Derek.
Okay, number 4, Saw 6.
Saw 6.
I think I can agree with that. Saw 6.
Okay, number 3, Saw 4.
Saw X.
Yeah, Saw X.
Okay, number 2, Saw X.
Saw 2.
Saw 2.
Okay, and then number 1, Saw 2, and then Saw for both of you.
Dude, the first one
All
is
right.
just...
You can't beat the first. You can't beat... It's the simplicity of it. You can't beat it.
Good. Yeah. And I still, dude, I still get chills every single time I see Tobin get up from that fucking dirty ass bathroom floor. I love it every single time.
I have seen this movie. This is my Halloween tradition movie. I try to watch Saw 1 every Halloween. So I've seen this movie so many fucking times, and I still get chills when he stands up and slams the door closed.
That moment
So
is just one of the most iconic moments in just horror in general. Just him getting up, because I remember seeing this opening night, like knew literally nothing about the movie other than that it was just a scary movie, and me and like 5 friends went and saw it, and just being like, "Oh fuck, what?" But like, I'm sorry, Dr. Gordon gets comical, and that really does kind of drag it down for me, because it just, his acting, Carrie Ells, his acting was not on point in that. It was just, like, when you're laughing at him crying in pain when he's reaching for the phone, it's not good.
I think the reason that one I kind of just like I just forgive that is because it was, early 2000s. There was a lot of movies that were doing stuff like that. It was kind of cheesy and kind of over the top, and obviously we have the Hell's Kitchen transitions and shit, and the flashes of fucking like dramatic music and sound effects and stuff going all over the place. Like there's some cheese to it. I mean, there's no getting around that. But
to be entirely fair, to Derek's point, he's also a very
like well-established actor by this point. He was in Never Ending Story, or is it The Princess Diary?
Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah. I always get those two movies mixed up for some reason.
Crush with Alicia Silverstone. Like, Carrie had been around quite a while. He was fucking Russ Wheeler in Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair.
So that is part of the reason why I'm like, no, I've seen his acting. I know he's good. In that, no. Just no. It was not that good.
I will say, though, his acting aside, the reason why that ending scene gives me chills specifically is Adam's acting. That scream when he reaches out and screams like he realizes that he's fucked. The moment he realizes that he's fucked and he's going to die in there, that scream that he lets out is one of the best screams in any horror movie I've ever seen.
He's a scream queen, for sure.
And the way that it carries on through the credits, like into the credits when he's like screaming in agony and he's like begging for help as the credits start rolling.
True.
It's just peak cinema, bro. It's cinema.
Yeah. No, Lee Winnell knocked it out of the park on that one.
For sure.
I had to look it up because I thought he directed it, but I was like, oh no, he wrote it. James Wan directed it.
Yeah. Saw is his baby.
Nice.
Well, I wish Wolfman would have been his baby, but I'm still pretty disappointed with that. So
yeah, I still gotta watch that, and I'm not excited after you said it wasn't.
It's not. Yeah, I was so disappointed with that.
Yeah, is it on streaming yet? Because I still want to watch it just for the sake of it, because I like werewolf shit. But
it's supposed to be on Peacock here soon if it's not already.
Okay, well, I might end up checking it out, but we'll see. But anyway, that is our list. That is our ranking and our final Saw installment in our little trilogy here of Saw videos or Saw episodes.
I am kind of curious before we wrap up real quick. I know this is kind of off the cuff.
No, you're good.
Do you guys have a favorite trap in the franchise?
Ooh, that's a good question.
If you had to pick one trap that you just think is the best trap in the whole franchise.
Man,
are we saying best as in like just our
you
favorite?
You just pulled my fucking pants down in front of the entire school, Toby. Fuck,
just
I need to think about that.
Just most entertaining to watch.
Most entertaining to watch. Okay. I know for a while the rack in Saw 3 fucked me up quite a bit, and it was always
I was never big on that one.
Yeah, but it was always just like it was hard to watch for the sole fact that I can imagine my fucking ligaments and shit turning that far around, and how you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I mean, you can't really do anything about it in most of the traps, but like he was like relying solely on somebody else to get him out of that trap, so he had no control over it. He was 1000% relying on the other dude to get out of it, as everybody was in this movie. So any of them could have been fucked, but that one just, I don't know, it was just always at the end where his head was just and then so that one definitely up there, but I don't know if it would be my favorite though. Obviously the bear the bear trap's always like an iconic one. I would
say
the needle pit's pretty fucked up in Saw 2.
If I can't just take the easy out and just pick the house from Saw 2, I would probably go the reverse bear trap or the Venus flytrap. Because I don't know why, but I always really dug the idea of just that the nails in there, and I always liked that one, but that's also without like looking at every single trap, because I mean, let's face it, there's a fuckload.
There's
to
a ton
try and think about.
I think overall my favorite's, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think it's the reverse bear trap. But if you were to take that one, like, it's just iconic as fuck. But if you were to take that one out of the equation, the carousel trap from 6, I think is probably my favorite. It's just like the suspense of that scene is just unparalleled.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of fucking traps, but I think because those are the ones I said stand out like immediately as I'm thinking about it. Those are probably my favorites. Like I think those are the ones that I would probably have to pick, leaning towards the rack just for the sake of I don't know.
I do also
nostalgia's a weird word to use, but I mean,
it'd be a thing.
yeah.
I do also really like the knife thing.
Oh yeah,
that,
you have to push
with
your face
Cecil?
through.
with Cecil, where he's got to push his face through the knives.
Yeah.
I don't know why that one always just like really fucked with me.
Another one that I liked was from 2 was the chick who sticks her hands up through and has to grab the antidote, and it's just fucking razors, you know?
The most easily avoidable trap in the entire franchise.
Yeah, 100%,
totally fell for it. Doubled down on it even.
Like, it's like, okay, just stick your arm up there, get them fingers in there to just brace that, and reach up and around. Okay, you can get out of that pretty easy. But yeah, I don't know why, but I have always really enjoyed that one too. It's not my favorite, but I enjoy that one.
The the eyeball sucker one's a pretty good one, even though it actually didn't happen. The Angel of Death one, or the Death Angel, or Blood Eagle, whatever the fuck you want to call it, rips her fucking rib cage open. That one's pretty fucked.
That one's fucked because I think that's the first trap in the franchise where
it was just a death
it's unavoidable.
Yeah,
because she won. She did the thing. She reached in, grabbed the key, and unlocked it, but it just wasn't going anywhere.
Crawling through razor wire is pretty wild. in Saw 1.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yikes.
I think it's the simplicity of it for me. Like, I think the reason why I like the knife chair so much specifically is because, like, you can feel that, you know? Like,
obviously I don't know what it feels like to put my hand in a fucking bottle of battery acid or, like, have my lungs crushed by a block of, you know... But I know what it feels like to cut myself on a fucking, like, blade, you know? We've all done that at some point or another.
Right.
You've nicked yourself on a kitchen knife at some point.
Yeah.
So you can fully, like, feel him pushing his face through all of those knives, and it just makes it so much worse.
I think the worst one for me would be suffocating in that fucking pig guts in Saw 3.
Oh god, yeah.
That shit would fuck me up, dude. Just touching the rotting pig guts would be enough. Like, you know what? End it, please. Just figure this out. I'm done.
Somehow had successfully removed that from my brain.
Just the
Thank
smell
you for putting that back in there.
The smell alone would fold me. I'd be done.
Yeah.
I'd be done. Anyway.
That's what I would have sounded like, yeah. Right there.
So let us know down in the comments below, obviously, what is your favorite Saw trap from the franchise? Let us know. Also, what is your ranking of the Saw movies? Do you think that Spiral or 3D is worse? Let us know. Let's get this in the ground as soon as possible.
Let's end the race for the bottom. All right.
Hit us with the worst Saw movie you can think of, and it's got to be one of those two. Any other answers are wrong. Go fuck yourself. And
That's a trick question, actually. The worst Saw movie of all time is the fucking Xbox 360 game. That's the worst one.
I didn't even know there was a game, but here I am.
There's two.
There's two games.
Oh, great. Awesome. Learning something
and they're
new every
both
day.
dog shit.
Hell yeah. Not all franchises were meant to be video games, guys. Just remember that.
But you know what? Saw
versa,
could be a good fucking video game. If it's done right, that could be a fun-ass game.
I think it would be convoluted and it would never happen because you'd have to get around some crazy ratings, but being able to build your own traps, like some sandboxy ass shit, building your own traps.
Oh god, yeah.
That'd be fucked, and I don't think that would ever get greenlit, but maybe from like an indie studio or something, but...
I know Jacob's not going to know what I'm talking about, but Derek, did you ever play Resident Evil... That fucking asymmetrical Resident Evil game that came out with the 3 remake? I think it was like...
What, Resistance? Or
was it Resistance? Resident Evil Resistance? It's the one where you're like... You play as like...
The
You got like
Overlord or
yeah,
whatever.
you have to like the survivors have to make it through the building, and you as the killer have to like place traps and shit and like bioweapons and zombies and whatever to stop them.
Yeah, was not a fan.
If they did it like that, if they were to make a Saw game like that, where you have a group of 4 people or 5 people or whatever that have to go through a house or a meat packing plant or whatever that's rigged with a bunch of fucking traps that another player is placing actively,
That'd be
I feel like
sick.
that would be pretty fucking cool.
Dude, a Dead by Daylight scenario, but like a fucking Saw 2 house or something? Bro,
Exactly.
Yeah.
that would be insane. Holy shit.
Did we
All
just strike gold?
Bro, we just gave the Ether a fucking brand new awesome game idea. Somebody make it happen, all right?
Shit, you wouldn't even have to make it like an asymmetrical game. You could have it like
Just make it Dead by Daylight, but with that premise. That would be
Yeah.
different enough to
Like,
justify
just-
the copying, you know?
like just have like a house or meat packing plant or wherever any of the games take
Warehouse,
place, and
a
then
farm. Literally, they
Yeah.
could be anywhere.
have the computer like based on difficulty, easy, medium, hard, expert, whatever. Set traps throughout, and then you got to find your way out of the house, and then you can fuck people over in the traps if you're a real asshole. So I'd kill Toby in a heartbeat.
Oh damn, dude! You could do it like Fall Guys. Did you guys ever play Fall Guys?
Yes.
I haven't, but
It's like
imagine
a whole.
Toby.
It's like a battle royale where a bunch of people have to go through an obstacle course, and you can like fuck people over. And
It's a lot of fun.
Imagine-
it's also
That'd be-
really fucking
that'd be
frustrating 'cause
crazy.
people suck.
Dude, imagine Toby's character being stuck in a Saw trap and you and I are still surviving, and I'm like, hey, what's the worst Saw movie, Toby?
He's
he-
in the fucking rack and
and he
still
says-
holding to his guns.
And he's like twisting and twisting and twisting, and his head starts turning, and I'm like, say it. Say it, Spiral, right now.
It's
nah, I'd go out like Frank Woods. You can't kill me.
Oh my god. Anyway, dude, make it happen, guys. Any development studios, indie or otherwise, watching this, because we know those AAA game studios watch From the Crypt. Make it happen, man. Make it happen.
yeah,
I'd
we're being
play it.
bitches.
I'd play it for sure.
Oh, that'd be fun as fuck. Like if it was like
Imagine
like,
the fucking
PvE
streams
isn't-
you could have. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
dude.
it'd be 100%. I guess it could be cooperative or
Oh, yeah.
PvP. Like if you kill fucking people that are in the traps. I mean,
Well, it would be co-op. Like your overall goal is to still see like how many people you can get out of the traps and funhouse or whatever alive. But like, who knows? Maybe like beforehand, each character that you have to choose from gets a randomized set of like crimes that they've committed or like shitty things that they've done or whatever, and you as the other players have to decide if those crimes are worth saving this person for or whatever. So like say Toby has a list of crimes involving like, just not so good things that I don't obviously want to talk about, but we as the other players can try to justify it, like, okay, well, he just made some mistakes, let's try to get him out of this trap, or nah, fuck that guy, he deserves to die, and then so forth. You know what I mean?
Or weigh the pros and cons of keeping people alive versus going at it on your own. Maybe you run into a trap in like 3 rooms from now
that
that requires
3 people.
2 people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you only have 1 left or some shit. Yeah, that'd be nuts. But
and you
anyway,
could have
or
instead of a health
adversely-
meter, it'd be a blood meter. And the
Yeah.
more blood you lose, the less you're able to do some of these traps, and then eventually you'll just bleed out and die.
bro, we have mechanics
On-
written for you guys. Make it happen.
On the flip side of that, maybe you form an alliance with one player in particular, and you guys are the only ones left, and the last trap you have to fight. You like only one person can make it out.
Or it's set up like Saw 5, where like you need X amount of people to make it easier on everybody. But since you killed everybody, you're fucking boned.
Yeah, but on the same token, it could be interesting to have traps that do require less people or something, or would be easier with less people. That way, you never know. Like, You never
Yeah.
know if this instance is going to be a better option to have more people or a better option to have less people. And then by the time you get to the end, if you've saved everybody so far, now you have to fucking fight to see who even gets out alive at all, because you have 10 people in this fucking room and you should have been killing people this whole time, but like,
Yeah.
damn, dude. Fuck, that's fun. Come on, man. Make it happen.
Yeah, that's lit. We need
Yeah,
to
we
make
just
this a thing.
Yeah, we just came up with the best Saw game that never will be or
Yeah.
was.
We just need to get into game development. I know 2 people that are into coding. Kelby and Hovey, come on. Get your shit together. Come on.
Yeah.
We now
Make
now
it
we need.
happen.
I know some dude, Spider Manga from the Pizzaverse. He dabbles in 3D modeling on Blender.
Dude,
Hey, it could be
I'm
a
here
fucking
for it.
like one of those old school analog horror type games too. Go retro with this shit. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Or totally opposite, brand new fucking awesome graphics and shit too. But anyway,
honestly, if you were to make it like stylistically to where it feels like you're playing it on like one of those old CRTVs, like
Sick.
from 2004, that'd be rad.
yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Anyway, we just went on a whole fucking tangent. That's crazy.
We could have a whole episode about that probably, but let us know down in the comments all the things I already listed. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure you check us out on YouTube and vice versa. We have a few episodes on Spotify, but it's all obviously just audio, and we have a shitload of stuff on our YouTube channel if you are listening to us on Spotify. And as usual, share this around with your friends and family and all that stuff like that. All of the support we really appreciate, and
Your grandma and your auntie.
yeah, every one of them. They would all love us. We're lovable guys, and we're all wholesome beings. So we would actually never be in a saw trap because we're just too good to the earth. So
Facts.
that's just how it is. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.